welcome to the Open Mic Diary. My name is Indra Adele, and you have just stepped into a safe space. Just like in a diary entry, in this space, I am free to be my most authentic self, be vulnerable and honest about my feelings and emotions, and give you a front row seat to my various life experiences, my challenges, my victories, ups, downs, laughter, tears, and everything in between. Um, I'm turning my healing journey into our healing journey. And honestly, this is not your traditional podcast. This space is free flowing, hence the name Open Mic Diary. So expect anything. If you have not already, please go listen to the Allow Me to Introduce Myself episode so you have more context to me and the style of this podcast. Episodes, for the most part, will be uploaded in batches, but outside of that, I may decide to spontaneously upload episodes individually. So please make sure that you follow, subscribe, and have your notifications on so that you will always know when I post a new episode. I pray that my authenticity and my vulnerability in this episode blesses you in some way. Okay, so reflections from the past few days. I feel like so much has happened with me internally just over the last week. I've been working through some really good things in therapy, challenging but good things. I've also been having a lot of conversations with myself. I think I had my therapy session yesterday, and I was telling my therapist that I feel like I'm kind of in a transition, a good transition, but just for so many months, I feel like I've been doing so great. Just doing so great emotionally, feeling pretty balanced, with the exception of when my brother had his medical emergency. Like, that took me out a little bit emotionally temporarily, but I was able to kind of move through that pretty well and kind of resume just stability emotionally. And that's kind of been how it's been for like 6 months. And sure, I might have like some off days here and there, but for the most part, I've just been doing really good. And like, I feel like in the recent weeks, because I've been working through some challenging things, emotionally, I've been a bit more up and down. And I really was having a hard time with that. Like, just being okay with me transitioning to a different space for however long this season might be, right? And it's not that I'm not doing well. I still am doing well. It's just emotionally, I'm not always doing well. Like, I'm not in like an overall just not great place, but I am in a season where I'm a bit more sensitive. And so here and there, I just have these really low lows, and it's just, I have an off day. It's not like an off moment. It's like an off day. Like, and I think that's the difference, is like, I was in a place where I was having like these off moments, and it was like, okay. And like I said, the only time I really had an off day was when my brother was going through his stuff. But like, I think that I have such a history of feeling like I have to keep it all together. And granted, there were seasons in my life where, I had to survive, right? Like, I, had to do the best that I could
with what I knew and what I had at the time. And what I knew how to do was to soldier through things, was to, okay, that happened. Let's get over it and move on. Like, I did that for so much of my life, or even just flat out pretending things didn't happen so that I didn't have to deal with the emotions of it all. And so obviously I've graduated from that for some time now. The better part of my adulthood, I've tried to not navigate that way. But I found myself having some of those thoughts lately, right? Where I was frustrated with myself for feeling what I was feeling. I was frustrated with the fact that I wasn't good, like, all the time. And I felt my brain just going into fix it mode. Like, I just need to fix this. I need to get rid of this. I need to, like, treating myself as though I'm a problem, And this past weekend, I had to take a step back and be like, okay, look, Indra, first of all, it's literally been like a couple weeks. Okay. It's not like this has been going on and on and on and on for some lengthy period of time. Like, you know what I mean? And I felt like I wasn't having grace with myself. In the last couple weeks, I've had like two like really hard, emotional periods. The recent one was like a day. It's an entire day. And then before that was the mental crash that I had, which I think I talked about in a previous episode. And that was kind of triggered by the whole train situation, and other things happened around that time that kind of just compounded it all. And it really took me out for like a few days. And so like, yeah, I just had to remind myself that I need to have grace with myself, and that it's okay if I'm not okay from time to time. I have to constantly remind myself that, because it's in my nature to judge myself for not being okay, or for being quote unquote needy, like feeling like I need more right now, feeling like I need people more right now, feeling like I need to lean on somebody more right now. Like, I can have a hard time with that. It's very uncomfortable for me. And so I can easily feel like I don't want to be a burden. And my therapist was saying, like, you keep saying that as though being a burden is a bad thing. Like, being a burden sometimes is it's okay. Like, that's the purpose of friends, is to help carry your burdens, right? Like, and he was reminding me that I often, and for so much of my life, have no problem carrying other people's burdens, have no problem being that person for all the people in my life, for them to pour all of their stuff over here and for me to help carry it. But it's such a challenge for me sometimes to be willing to let somebody else carry my stuff, right? To help lighten that load for me. And I feel like because I didn't need it to that extent for a little while, I kind of got used to just like not having that need to that extent. And so recently, feeling like I needed that made me feel like I was weak, and that something was wrong with being weak. And that's the thing. It's like, someone might say like, you're not weak, you're strong. And it's just like, well, yeah, I am strong, but sometimes I actually am weak. But the thing is not, the problem is not saying that I might have times where I'm weak. The problem is making that mean something negative. It's like, there's nothing wrong with weakness. Like, nobody can be strong all of the time in every single thing. It's just like not normal, right? And so it's like, I've made being weak a negative thing, like this bad thing, like I have to avoid it. And it's like, no, it's like, if I can lean into those weak moments and just allow myself to be present in the humanity of those emotions, because I'm a human being. Like, I'm not a super being. I'm not a superhero. I'm not superhuman. I'm just a human being. So sure, I might be very capable and very powerful in many regards. And sometimes I'm weak and sometimes I need help and sometimes I do need like a shoulder to lean on or two. And sometimes, yeah, I need to have like a really good cry. And sometimes those really good cries might be back to back. And that's cool. And so I've just this morning I was talking to a friend, and as I was talking, this came out, and I feel like I'm adopting it as my theme right now. And it's resilience over perfection. I've been really like I'm becoming very obsessed with this concept of resilience because I can get caught up in the fact that there's like these ups and downs sometimes in life and in me. And it's like, it doesn't matter. What matters is like, am I able to get back up and keep going? Am I able to move through the emotions effectively, efficiently? Am I able to get back to the other side and keep going, keep moving through life? Like if it's not taking me out completely, forever, that's resilience, right? Like the ability to go through different difficult things and still keep going, right? To be able to come out of that. And so it's like I may go in and out of it, right? Like, but that's what resilience is. It doesn't mean that you come out of it and you just stay out of it forever and everything's perfect henceforth. It's like, no, there might, we might be playing like back and forth a little bit, right? Like, and that's okay. That's just life. And just being okay to kind of ride that wave calmly and not panic. Every time the wave rises and falls, it's like, it's all good. This is normal and this is okay. And I need to make room for it and lean into it and rest in it. And that's what I'm learning to do, is to rest in the ups and downs, because I get panicky, I get anxious, and literally, it feels like the world is ending. Like it feels like my world is crashing down and crumbling. And yeah, that's very real for me sometimes, right? Like sometimes I really truly feel the weight of everything, because to keep it 100, like I got real life stuff that I'm dealing with in my life. Like there's a lot of great things going for me right now, and there's a lot of amazing progress I'm making in certain things, and there's a lot of really awesome things happening in my life and in me. And there's some really hard shit, like, to be completely honest. There's some really hard stuff, and navigating being a single mom, I'm still adjusting to that. Like, overall, I feel like I'm doing pretty well considering, but like, there's still some things that I'm adjusting to, right? Sometimes like there's financial stress. Sometimes there's, stress of trying to juggle and manage these different elements of my life between my kids and my personal life and my business. And sometimes there's nuances with trying to balance that and balance like my healing. And there's just all kinds of things that are going on a day to day that sometimes it just feels heavy. Sometimes I get overwhelmed, and it's like, I'm human and that's okay. It's okay that I'm overwhelmed sometimes, right? It's okay that sometimes I just feel like all I can do is just cry and cry and cry and cry and cry until I can't cry anymore. But guess what? That happens, and I wake up the next day and I start again and I keep going, right? Like the other day, I had a really rough day. I think it was on Friday. Man, I was struggling mentally, like majorly. And so I was like, you know what? My body is crying out for rest. I was so drained mentally that it drained me physically. I stayed in bed for most of the day. And I think because I didn't try to like push through it and shoulder through it and feel like, no, you know what? I need to still do this and still do that. And still, I was like, I tuned into what my body needed, what my nervous system needed. I nourished it in the way that it was asking for nourishment. And then the next day, I was good. Like, I wasn't 100%, but like, I was good. I had energy. I was smiling. I was happy. I enjoyed the day. It was productive. I had a great time with my kids. I had a great time in my me time. It was a good day the next day. And so I find myself in this place where I'm just trying to be okay with the ups and downs right now and embrace it and not shame it, not judge it, but just be like, you know what? It's cool. It's cool, because part of my healing right now is trying to create a certain experience for my nervous system on a regular basis, because it really is a desire of mine to fully heal these panic attacks and anxiety attacks. And in order for me to do that, I really have to be understimulated more often than not from a nervous system standpoint. And I know that I can do it because I've done it before. Like, I went through years where I wasn't having panic attacks and anxiety attacks, right? And just through the challenges of the last few years of my life, it kind of brought them back. It brought them back up. I would like my nervous system and my brain to choose differently. And so I'm in the process of trying to retrain, rewire, reprogram, all of that, right? And so I have to listen to my body. I have to rest when my body says rest. And to be quite honest, when I was like in my early 20s and stuff, I could be feeling all kinds of stuff and be like, you know what? I'm still going to push through. I'm still going to focus on being successful this day and doing this and doing that and productivity and all of that. And like, now my body just be like, no, no, go sit down. Like, I will crash and I will fall flat on my face now. Because my body's like, we're done. Like, we had enough. We've been doing this for too long. Now it's time for you to give us what we need. And so I'm not trying to end up with some health ailment because I chose to ignore what my body needs and, drive myself into a burnout, right? Into some kind of physical breakdown. Because I've done that many times in the past. So, all in all, resilience over perfection. Okay, today's an off day. All right. Okay. Can we get back up tomorrow? Can we get back up later today? Can we get back up the next day? Like, how much time do we need? Okay, let's give us that time and let's get back up and keep going. Like, I have such a tendency to rely on perfection and to somehow think that someone's like grading me, like I'm having like a daily evaluation by the world as to how productive I was and how perfect I executed all the things I needed to execute. It's like, ain't nobody who, right? Like, it's all imaginary in my mind. I'm placing these unrealistic expectations and pressure on myself for no reason. And so I've made so much progress in that regard, but I found myself kind of like leaning back into some of those old habits, and I'm trying to snatch myself right back out of it. Yeah. Yeah. Being okay with needing my friends more right now. The few of them that I have, like real friends. Like, I have very few like legit real friends right now, and I need them more right now. And that's okay. That's okay. I tend to feel guilty for that. And they're not complaining. You know what I mean? Like, they're happy to support me and be there for me, but I kind of like make up these stories unintentionally that somehow I'm burdening them, somehow I'm, there's a part of me that fears abandonment, right? Like that's a major wound for me in that area. And I think sometimes I fear that, like, okay, well, if I need them too much, right, and I become too big of a burden, then they'll leave. So it's like, why am I telling myself that story? It's not even based on reality. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I'm trying to lean into that. It's very hard for me. I'm going to keep it honest. It's hard. It's hard because there's an internal resistance, and I'm working through that because I understand where that comes from. It's fear. It's fear of different things, right? Rejection, feeling like I'm failing, feeling like I'm weak. I'm in the process of redefining these things, making them mean different things because I've made them bad and they're not. And so by redefining them, then I can embrace them as okay versus some type of threat. Yeah. So I know that I'm not the only one that feels this way. I know that there are other people that can struggle with needing someone else or just feeling like, man, I just really need to talk and vent a lot right now. I got a lot on my mind and I tend to process out loud. So I'll go on walks and talk. I don't care if I look crazy or whatever, but I'll go on walks and be straight talking out loud to myself, right? Or sometimes I'm talking to God, or I talk in therapy or I talk to my friends, and I process through writing too, but I process through words, whether on paper or verbally. It's very helpful for me. Even doing this podcast, right, helps me process things sometimes. It's honestly therapeutic for me. So, resilience over perfection, giving myself permission to need other people, giving myself permission to receive help, giving myself permission to allow someone else to help carry my load, to help lighten my load, giving myself permission to have off days, to have bad days, to struggle mentally and emotionally, and to lean into support so that I can continue to be resilient because I'm going to be okay. God's got me. My support system's got me. And I got me. Like, I'm good. And I've just been needing to remind myself that I am human. I'm not a robot. And it's okay that it's up and down right now. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.